All right, get ready to it. Shalom, shalom. We're going to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Rashah. Delve onto the Apostle Brothers, the Elder Great Millstone. Shalom, we're going to get to this lesson. The title was The Words of Prophecy. Right, the words of prophecy. So we're going to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, get right toward. It said, measure the time diligently. No, messed up. Messed up wrong. Yeah. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure the time diligently in itself. When I see pass of thy signs, hold on, when I see pass of thy sign pass, which I had told you before, thou shalt understand that it is the very same time within the highest begin to visit the world which he made right. As we get again, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 10, thou shalt understand that it is the very same time within the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when they shall be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, they shall well understand that the Most High spoken of those things from the day that was before thee, even from the beginning, right? From the beginning. Verse 5, for like as thou is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? The end is manifest. Verse 6, even seeing the time also of the highest had planned the beginning in the wonders and powerful works and ended in fashion and signs, and everyone that should be saved and should be able to escape by his work and by faith which by you have believed, right? You have believed. Verse 8, shall preserve from the same peril and shall see my salvation in my land within my borders, for I have sanctified them from me from the beginning, right? From the beginning. Verse 9, for they should be in pitiful case, which thou had bruised my ways, and they had cast them away to spiteful, to dwell in turmoil, right? They should be in what it say on 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 9. They should be in pitiful case, right? They should be in pitiful case, which thou had bruised my ways, and they had cast them away to spiteful, should dwell in turmoil. Verse 10, for sure as in their life have received benefit and have not known me, right? They have not known me. Verse 11, they had loosed my law would yet had yet liberty, and would we when yes place of repentance was open unto them. Understood not, but despised it, right? Understood not, but despised it. Proverbs 13, verse 13, who despised the word should be destroyed. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 11, it said they had loosed my law, while they had yet liberty, and was yet, yes, place of repentance was open unto them. Understood not, but despised it. Verse 12, the same must know it after death by pain, right? The same must know it. It's after death by pain. So, what I'm going to get, let's go to verse 13. Therefore, be thou not courage, how the ungodly should be punished, and when the required how the righteous shall be saved when the world is and for when the world is created. The answer and said, right. Verse 15 have said before, and now do I speak, and I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Man. Verse 16, like as a wave greater than a drop. Let me see. That was, man, that's what that's again. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 13 again. And they said, therefore, be thou courage how the ungodly should be punished. And when but Acquire how the righteous should be saved, whom the world is, and for whom the world is created. Verse 14, he answered and said, how said, I have said before, and now does speak. And when I speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of that which shall be saved. Right there shall be saved. All right, let's move on. 2 chapter 15, verse 1. I'm not trying to be too long, just getting right into it. That's 2 chapter 15, verse 1. Okay. 2 chapter 15, verse 1. He said, behold, speak thy ear of my people, the words of prophecy, right? The word of prophecy. You know, look at that word up. Prophecy. Just do it, but yeah, the words of prophecy. Get it up. Wow. What does it say? Prediction. It's a things prediction of forecast. Um, forecast. Future, especially coming weather or foretold the future. Yeah, foretold the future. Let me get. I'm trying to get out to it, but yeah. See. All right, second chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou ear in the ear of my people the words of prophecy, which I put in thy mouth, said the Lord. I cause it to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, for they are faithful and true. I won't try to get all that. But we're going to get it. Let's go verse 3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not a critic of thy trouble thee. I speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die on their unfaithfulness. Behold, said the Lord, I will release plagues upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right? The sword, famine, stuff, and destruction. So we're going to get off that and go right to it. Not get off to it, but let me see. All right. All right. Try to get right to the point. That's the point. All right, what is it? We're going with Proverbs 1, verse 28. It's 25. I should read the whole thing. 25. Proverbs chapter 1. Yeah, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the street. She cried in the chief place of the concourse, in the open of the gate. In the city, she uttered her words, say, how long you simple ones will love simplicity, and the scorners delight, and the scorners and fool hate knowledge, right? Fool hate knowledge. Verse 25, turn you at my reproach. Behold, I'll pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. Because I called, you refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regards, right? No man regards. But I have set at none of my counsel, and with none of my reproach. And also, I will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear come. Right? It's going to mock when your fear come. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 28. They shall call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Verse 23, no, first. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 29. For they hated knowledge and did not chose to fear the Lord. Right. You hated knowledge and you did not chose to fear the Lord. So Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33, it said, but who so hearken unto me shall dwell safety, should be quiet from fearing of evil, right? Should be quiet for fearing of evil. So let's go to Proverbs. No, I got to that. So let's go to Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1, it say, remember not the credit day of thy youth, while the evil day come not, nor the year draw near. Which I should say, I have no pleasure in them, right? Remember not the credit day of thy youth, while the evil day come not, nor the year draw near. Which I should say, I have no pleasure in them, right? See, I have no pleasure in them. Let's read it one more time. Yeah, okay. Move on. Let's go into it. See, okay. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. Proverbs, no, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It said, for every battle of the world is but confusion noise, and the garment rolled in blood, but this shall be burning in fury of fire, right? This shall be burning in fury of fire. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, it said, for every battle of the world is but confusion noise, and the garment rolled in blood, but this shall be burning in fury of fire. Let's move on. Let's go to Isaiah 13, verse 7. Was it? No, we're gonna go to Isaiah 13, verse 5. Yeah, this one. They came from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even the Lord and the weapon of his indignation destroyed the whole land. Hallelujah, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as destruction for the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they should be afraid, pain and sorrows should take hold of them. They should be in pain as a woman that travail. They should be amazed one to another. Their faces should be at flame. Behold, the day of the Lord come cruel, both with wrath and fury anger, to lay the land desolate. He should destroy the sinners thereof. Out of it. He should destroy the sinners. Isaiah 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and their wickedness, for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogance of their power to cease, and I will lay no hardness of terror, right? Lay no hardness of terror. Isaiah 34, verse 1. Isaiah 34, verse 1, it say, come near, you nations, to hear, and hearken, you peoples, let the earth hear, and all things that therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, his fury upon all their armies. He had destroyed them, he had delivered them to the slaughter. Verse 5, let's go to verse 4. And all the hosts should be devoid, and all the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts shall fall down as a leaf falling off from the fig, and the fallen fig from the fig tree. My soul shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Adumah and upon the people. My curse to judgment. Right, curse to judgment. Oh, it's all hiding right there. Yeah, Jeremiah. What's that? Jeremiah. Is it 51? I don't know. I forget. We'll figure it out. Jeremiah 50, verse 39. Let's go to Jeremiah 50, verse 40. And the Most High overthrew Solomon and Gomorrah and the neighbor city thereof. Say the Lord, so should no man abide there, neither should any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north country, a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Let me see. Yeah. They shall hold their bow and their lung. They shall are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea. They shall rise upon the horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Right. O daughter of Babylon. Yeah, Jeremiah 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear you the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the land of the flock should draw them out. Surely he should make their inhabit desolate with them, right? With them. Man, Jeremiah 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear you the counsel of the Lord that he had take against Babylon, his purpose that he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the last of the flock should draw them out. Surely he shall make their habit desolate with them. Uh, yeah, that was it right there. Jeremiah 51, verse 39. Let's get that. Jeremiah 51, verse 39. What is it? Well, I'm sure. 29. I think it's 29. I got where it was. Let's go to Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Let's go to verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. Um, I know I didn't forget what was that. Yeah, I did pass that. Jeremiah 50, verse 29. Call together the archer against Babylon, yet, and all yet that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works, according to all that she have done unto her for her. For she had been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore should her young man fall unto the streets, and her mans of war should be cut off. And that day said the Lord, right? God said the Lord, behold, I'm against thee, O thou most proud, said the Lord, power of hosts. For the day is coming, the time that I will visit thee, that I will visit thee. Man, that I will visit thee. I knew I wouldn't. You know how it is. Let me get a couple more. Just gonna put it down a little bit. Joel. Yeah, get that. Joel chapter 2, verse 14. Joel chapter 2, verse 14. Is that one too far? Oh, no, it's 3. Joel chapter 3, verse 14. Joel chapter 3, verse 14. It's a 12. Joel chapter 3, verse 11. Assemble yourself and come, all you heathens, gather yourself together round about. They call the Almighty One to come down, O Lord. Let the heathens be weak and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I set to judge all the heathens round about. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, for the wicked is great. Multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Right, the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right. Let's see, we're just gonna get right to it. Let's go to Amos 5, verse 18. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It say, woe is you that desire the day of the Lord, to one is for you. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, right? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It say, woe is you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is for you. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Amos 5, verse 4 again. For thou said the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek me, and you shall live. Right. All right, that's all. We're going to get right into it. Let's go get a couple more. What's that? First Thessalonian. Second Peter. Yeah. It's at First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. Okay. No, I'll be going over. I'm cut it short. I'm gonna cut it short. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It said, but the time and season, brother, I have no need that I write unto you. But yourself know perfect the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. They should say peace and safety. Then sudden destruction come upon them, as trail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. But you, brother, you are not in darkness, that they shall overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right? Let us watch and be sober. Verse 7, for their sleep in the night, and that be drunken or drunk in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober and put on the breastplate of faith and of love and helmet, the hope of salvation. Right, the hope of salvation. Verse 9, for the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to attain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shemantah, who died for us. Whether we be woke or sleep, we shall live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourself together and edify one another, even as you do, right? As you do. Second Peter 3, verse 5. It said, for this the will, or hold on. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's go to verse 7. 2 Peter 3, verse 7. But the heaven and the earth, which are now the same words, right? The same words are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and the perdition ungodly man. Verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord is 1,000 years as one day. 2 Peter 3, verse 9, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some man count slack, but is long suffering to usward, not only that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance, right? That all should come to repentance. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things should be devolved, what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and haste unto the coming of the day of our power, wherein the heaven be on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nonetheless, be accounted to his promise, looking for a new heaven, a new earth, wherein dwell righteousness. Verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, see that you look for a sure thing. Be diligent that you may be found in him in peace, without spot and blameless. Right, spot and blameless. What else? Tell myself one more. All right. 2 Peter 3, verse 9, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slack, but is long suffered to usward, not wanting that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Right? That all should come to repentance. What else? Right, that all should come to repentance. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. That should be right here. We're going to show this. Yeah. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It said, but let he that read it and hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Right? For the time is at hand. So we're going to get right into it. Movie time. Right, the time is at hand. This. See what this. Come on. You see, it's a land Pentagon budget have above it, abundant as CBM for after the big one, nuclear war. Words of prophecy. Let's take a roll up. ICBM. Yeah.
Continue with Daniel Ellsberg. We turn to another issue, the growing threat of nuclear war. Beginning in the late 50s, before he became known for leaking the Pentagon Papers, Daniel Ellsberg worked as a government consultant where he drafted plans for nuclear war. He writes about this in his 2017 book, The Doomsday Machine: Confessions of a Nuclear War Planner. He is featured in a new short animated video produced by Roots Action about the threat of nuclear annihilation.
Since the end of the Cold War, people have been focused on the possibility of a terrorist nuclear attack or an accident or some rogue nation using nuclear weapons. They are not focused and worried about the possibility of an all-out nuclear war between the U.S. and Russia. With the end of the Cold War, people really haven't thought about that very much. Those who do follow it, they know it would be catastrophic. That the chance of an all-out war, the use of most of our missiles, strategic bombers on both sides is possible. It is not zero possibility, and it's not near zero possibility. We have 400 missiles on 10-minute alert. From getting an authenticated command to the time that the missiles are actually launched from their silos, it's a matter of minutes. Those missiles, of course, cannot be recalled. In about 30 minutes, they would land at their targets, largely in Russia and China. Since the mid-60s, the Russians, the Soviets, acquired sub-launched missiles, which our ICBMs could not target, and which assured that whether we went first or second, the Soviets had the ability to demolish our society, just as we had the ability to demolish theirs. From that time on, the vulnerability of the ICBMs made them extremely dangerous for us to possess, and we should have eliminated them half a century ago. What makes any conflict enormously more dangerous than it has to be even now, after half a century of ideology and deception and irresponsible behavior, is the ICBMs, which increase the danger that any armed conflict between major nuclear states can escalate to all-out war.
The voice of Daniel Ellsberg in a video made for Roots Action by Judith Ehrlich, who directed the film The Most Dangerous Man in America, Daniel Ellsberg and the Pentagon Papers. Dan Ellsberg is still with us. Dan, as tension rises between the United States and Russia over Ukraine, can you talk about not only the growing threat of nuclear war, but how we can work against that?
There was pressure a few years ago in Congress. Even Adam Smith, the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, proposed abolishing ICBMs, which would actually, if we did that even unilaterally, and that's the only way it could be done, we would be safer, the world would be safer from that possibility of escalation which exists right now. When Biden says that this is the most dangerous moment since the Cuban Missile Crisis, which I was involved in 1962 at a high staff level, he's absolutely right. And that is above all because of the existence on both sides, which is even worse than having one side with these hair-trigger ICBMs. Putin talks about implying a small tactical use of small nuclear weapons, almost sure to escalate. And the reason that has the possibility of destroying most human life on Earth by nuclear winter, smoke from the cities in the stratosphere, killing all harvests, is because from the moment a single small nuclear weapon, a few hundred kilotons only, smaller than Hiroshima, from the moment that was used, each side will be asking of its own ICBM commanders, are they coming? Should they be, might they be coming shortly, not in a day, but as this escalates, should we wait or should we go first? That's because of the existence of these totally redundant hair-trigger weapons. So the first thing could be done is to get the Armed Services Committee back from their having fatalistically said, okay, go again. Northrop Grumman needs the money. There's thousands of jobs involved in this. There's a revolving door between Northrop and Lockheed and Raytheon and General Dynamics and the Defense Department, back and forth, even at the highest levels. So General Austin comes from Raytheon, for example, after he retired. Before him, people from Boeing. So they have a great investment in continuing things as they are.
We have 30 seconds, Dan Ellsberg. How do you reverse course?
Okay. The defense budget should be cut more than in half rather than being increased right now, but starting with the most dangerous weapons, the ICBMs, and acting at a no first use case, which we should be using against Putin right now, and saying that his first use threats, like ours in the past, are outrageous and illegal. Let me say, in connection with my past talk here, Amy, I said I would plead not guilty if I were charged with possessing these classified documents from Chelsea Manning for the last 12 years. If I were charged with having participated in my nuclear war planning phase for years, in the construction of the doomsday machine here, and the provocation of a doomsday machine later in the Soviet Union, I would not plead not guilty. I would plead guilty to having participated in a crime against humanity. And the same is true if I were to be tried, fat chance, but if I were to be tried, along with my colleagues, I presume, of a crime against humanity and aggressive war in Vietnam, again, I could not plead not guilty to that. That's the difference. One of those, these last ones, threaten all life on Earth. The secrecy system, which I am trying to propose here, is part of that system that threatens not only our democracy, but by protecting these outrageous, criminal, immoral plans, is part of a crime that is not at all without victims. It would make victims of nearly every human on Earth.
Dan Ellsberg, we want to thank you so much for being with us. Pentagon Papers whistleblower, author of The Doomsday Machine, and also the book Secrets.
Okay, so we got it right into it. Let me see. Time out. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close out right there. That was it. That was all right.
Memoir of Vietnam and the Pentagon Papers. Coming up after 41 years.
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna close it out. So we're going to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Shema Bashar, double honor to the apostle brothers and of great millstone. Shalom to the hope of the elect. Shalom.